Story is not about a product. No more.
So I'll tell you something. Iska simple answer is Gillette was there in the marketplace. Philips came up with an electric razor. Gillette ka market share abhi nahi hai. Electric razor is still there. Do you know why?
Well, electric razors have been around for 25 years.
Because they don't like do it.
You know, when I joined my first job in hospitality, and we were all standing in a line and they were checking our room, you know what my boss told me? I want a face that looks like a baby's ass. I don't want to see that. That's why Gillette is famous.
So, okay. So, this is a lot of stuff about innovation. I think, I want to show you something. I love the movies also. And please remember, you can learn from everywhere. So, I'm going to show you a movie. I'm going to show you a movie star. I'm going to show you a clip of Denzel Washington.
I'm taking you.
No. Sometimes word association doesn't work very well. I think it's a great actor. I think anybody seen a movie called Philadelphia?
Yes.
No, it's a beautiful movie. Tom Hanks in this. This is a very old movie. It's on.
And note these down. I mean, Ajay.
Start of the AIDS things. AIDS was just coming about. But I'm going to share with you a lovely speech that Denzel Washington made at a graduation school. This thing. Have you seen it? Oh, it's an amazing this thing. It tells you a lot of what you should do when you're looking at running a business or starting something up. Okay? And then I'm going to come back to the Chola Bhaturas. There was.
I was flunking out of college. I had a 1.7 grade point average. I hope none of you can relate. I had a 1.7 grade point average. I was sitting in my mother's beauty shop. They still call it beauty shop now? What do they call it now? Yeah, I was sitting in a beauty parlor. I was sitting in my mother's beauty parlor, and I'm looking in the mirror, and I see behind me this woman under the dryer. And every time she looked up, every time I looked up, she was looking at me, just looking me in the eye. I didn't know who she was, and I said, she said, somebody give me a pen. Give me a pen. So I have a prophecy. March 27, 1975. She said, boy, you are going to travel the world and speak to millions of people. Now, mind you, I was flunked out of college. I'm thinking about joining the army. I didn't know what I was going to do, and she's telling me I'm going to travel the world and speak to millions of people. Well, I have traveled the world, and I have spoken to millions of people. But that's not the most important thing, the success that I had. The most important thing is that what she taught me, what she told me that day has stayed with me since. I've been protected. I've been directed. I've been corrected. Fail big. That's right. Fail big. You only live once. So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances. Professionally. Don't be afraid to fail, because the old IQ test was 9 dots. And you had to draw 5 lines with a pencil within these 9 dots without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to go outside the box. So don't be afraid to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams. And they ultimately fuel disappointment. So have dreams, but have goals. Life goals, yearly goals, monthly goals, daily goals. I try to give myself a goal every day. And understand that to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. You have to work at it every day. You have to plan every day. You heard the saying, we don't plan to fail, we fail to plan. Hard work works. Working really hard is what successful people do. And in this text, tweet, twerk world that you've grown up in, remember, just because you're doing a lot more doesn't mean you're getting a lot more done. Remember that. Just because you're doing a lot more doesn't mean you're getting a lot more done. Don't confuse movement with progress. My mother told me, yeah, but you've been running places all the time. You never get anywhere. So continue to strive. Continue to have goals. Continue to progress. And anything you want, good, you can have. So claim it. Work hard to get it. When you get it, reach back. Pull someone else up. Each one, teach one. Don't just aspire to make a living. Aspire to make a difference.
So if you want here that your entrepreneurial journey is going to make a difference to someone, don't do it.
And if you don't believe that you are progressing in whatever you're doing, don't do it. As I said, movement is not entrepreneurship. You can't sit today on a chair and think that, okay, probably after I'm out of college, I'll do it now. You can still, I did my job, I worked on BFF, I worked 12 to 1 in the night, I was ideating plans, making business summaries, but yes, it had to be done. How many of you like Sylvester Stallone here? Perfect. How many of you know his story?
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Come in. So Sylvester Stallone has an oral problem. He has something called a reminiscent jaw which touches his tongue when he speaks. So when he initially wanted to act, didn't get a chance, tried theatres, didn't get a chance. Somebody told him, go to Hollywood, you get a lot of chances. None of the directors took him. And that was the time somebody told him, you know what, kid, why don't you go and make your own movie? He says, I don't have the money. He says, figure out. He had a dog at that time. And he sold it to one of his neighbors. And while giving the dog, he told the dog when he was giving it to his neighbors, kid, I'm going to get you back someday. And that's when he made Rocky. With the money that he had earned from selling the dog, by the way. It became such a big hit, he became such a big man, and even at that point of time, he could not speak. So when the first award ceremony happened and he was called on stage, and people asked him that, why did you make this movie? He was speechless. For 5 minutes, he didn't get anything to say, and the first thing that came out is, I wanted to get my best friend back. So the goal was not making a winning movie. The goal was winning back what he'd lost.
Which is where we are saying that don't ever look at your entrepreneurial idea from an idea of making money. Money will follow. Be very clear. If you're passionate about it, if you think it's going to make a difference, is when you should be doing it. Yeah, and there is a very interesting gentleman. There is a concept called the golden circle. Okay? This is both sides. No. Okay. So I'm going to use just a small space on this. Okay? If you look at most businesses, most organizations, most people, perpetual problem with markers in life. Got it. Yeah. So, so most people and most companies know what they do. Okay? A lot of them know how they do it.
Very interesting concept.
Right? But very few know why they do it.
And it's interesting. How many of you guys know what's the why of Apple?
Batao bhai, how many of you guys use Apple products? Show of hands, quick. So what is the why of Apple?
Pearl, I need this answer from you. You're the head of this club. Speak up.
Let Pearl off the hook. Come on.
Okay, let's start the other way. What's the what of Apple? What does Apple do?
Okay. So how many companies do that, yeah? A lot of them do, no? What makes Apple special? We know Apple is special. I hope there is no debate on that, right?
How do they do it?
They create their own software, they don't.
They have creative brains, they're working
Good aesthetic, style.
People wearing suits.
But have you seen the new HP series? It's as good as the iPad Air, the MacBook Air and everything. Damn sexy product. Very good looks. So everyone else can do it too. Why? It's still successful. The viability. Reliability.
The loyalty that they enjoy.
Why do they enjoy the loyalty? That's exactly the question
That's
we are
the
asking.
why.
That's because they are able to fascinate people with the way the products look, with marketing scheme.
That's still here. Fascinating people is you're still in the how, you're still not entered the why circle.
So why they do it is to create a separate space for themselves, is to differentiate themselves from.
You've fallen back to what?
The harbingers
Yeah,
of change.
forget about
The
that.
harbingers of technological innovation.
What is the tagline of Apple here? Very clearly, they are saying don't do the ordinary. Yeah. Sony made music systems and iPads, and there used to be a whole lot of things. HP makes a whole lot of tablets, this, that.
What's Gillette's tagline?
Usual communication is this way. Usually everyone thinks this way, but great companies and great businesses think the other way around. And they communicate like that. They don't say we make the best computers. Apple has never made the best. I don't know how many of you remember when the iPhone 7 was launched. Okay? The 5 was launched. That time Steve Jobs was still launched, was very much there. There was only one thing that Steve Jobs said about the entire phone. Anybody knows what it was? Line was very simple. It's the lightest phone that we have ever made. That is all. Yeah. I mean, people advertise, I have this X megapixel camera, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Now, this has a very strong significance. I know some of you guys know about this, but I don't know whether you know the significance of this in terms of how human beings exist, how our brain is wired. Do you know that? No?
You got a very good example to
Yeah.
illustrate this one. What is Cadbury's tagline in India? So tell me something, among the wide range of Cadbury products, which one sells the most? You know the reason. The reason's hidden in the why. Okay, so tell me something. Let's say you get brilliant marks in college. Would you ever ask your dad, "Mujhe Cadbury Dairy Milk chahiye?" You will definitely ask for something better. Understand this: the 5 rupees wala Cadbury Dairy Milk sells mostly in the slums and the lower income levels of India. Because that's where a father can't afford a PlayStation to give it to his kid when he passes out of school. That's where that comes in. Why? Maggie has now tried to ape Cadbury by doing an advertisement where it is showing that a mother in a poor household is treating his kid to Maggie of 20 rupees. Because they've also realized that that's definitely not what you're going to ask your dad when you pass out with great marks. Come on, man. That's how deep you need to dive into a business to understand where your why is, what your business is doing, and what you really want to do.
And where your business will grow, because I think that's the other part which Varun started off right at the beginning. Which is your target customer? Is it the bottom? Who's your customer? First, knowing that is a big mystery. And I've seen in my career, most companies are very confused about who their target is. They try and do too many things and make a mess of everything. But coming back, a quick one, and I think we're taking way too long at this stage right now, because lots of stuff to do. The reason why this works very well is this is exactly how our brain is wired. See, there is something called the amygdala and the cortex of the brain, right? This is your reptilian brain, your primeval brain, right? This is the brain where you survive from. This is the place where all your emotions reside. The layers that you see over that, which is what distinguishes human beings from other animal species, is a neocortex. Yeah, the folds are simply because the brain wanted to increase the area so that you could have more neurons. Yeah, and you could do rational thinking. Yeah. But remember, we are not rational beings. Now, if you can go, so this is exactly the cross section of a brain. This is your primary cortex, and this is your neocortex. So here, yes, my features are very good. This is very good. I offer you much better than somebody else is giving. My product looks much smarter. My product is 2 rupees cheaper. Where all this rational stuff is happening. You got to go to the core where your emotional connect with the brand builds. That's why Apple is the first company where people would wait a week and in queue to buy a product. That's because they're appealing to the
Why of the customer?
That's really very important. You've got to be very clear on that, yeah? So I'm going to move very quickly now. And I want to tell you one last thing before I hand over to Varun to run you through a whole bunch of things that, I'll keep chipping in at that point in time. Is the fact that you've got to realize that, and this is going to go to your Chola Bhatura question, man, is really about the fact that, man has evolved and the world has evolved. Human beings came into existence about 200,000 years back. Homo sapiens, as you know ourselves, our evolution is only 200,000 years old. We were hunter-gatherers. No, we were hunter-gatherers to start with. But we learned agriculture and became farmers. Right? So that's how human evolution progressed. It was an agrarian world. We would produce and eat and, whatever, all of that. Progress happened, life went on, tens and thousands of years, the world kept moving. Till about 700 years back, when man finally figured out he could make machines. Okay? Since he could make machines, he started producing product. And he went and sold product. Some was fun. They said, listen, product is good, but I think lots of services that can be done. And he saw the growth of the service economy. But about 30 years back, there was a huge shift that happened, 35 years or so, give or take. Another big shift happened. What is the big shift that happened in the history of human evolution?
30 years back.
35. Exactly, year comes down.
Internet,
The internet came about. And the world has never been the same again. Yeah. We came into a world which has a totally different set of dynamics, totally different behavior today. And you don't seem to consciously realize it. Subconsciously we know it. But we don't consciously realize it. Yeah. Now tell me, how much do you pay to go and watch a movie, sir? How much do you pay to go and watch a movie? $300. Yeah, and those bloody, big, those three guys will charge you, $360 for a damn Coke and a corn here. It's ridiculous. It cheats me off. In Gurgaon, that's the case of rate here. Makes my blood boil every time. That's very black water and a few seeds of mail and they want to take me $60. But do you know, my friend, there is a theatre out there which is showing you the same movie at $50 as well. It is. So why did you watch it?
Because we are skeptic of the ground which will be there.
Ah, okay.
Perfect.
The
Perfect.
Huh?
There we go. Now
The
you're
seats.
thinking. Now you're thinking.
The seating. Okay.
Crowd.
The quality. So are you buying a product?
So,
Ah,
We believe if we
perfect.
pay more, we get a better experience.
the issue, sir, is the product is the same. Shah Rukh Khan or Tom Cruise or whoever, Katrina Kaif or whoever, whatever takes your fancy looks the same on the 50 rupee screen as on the 300 rupee screen. But you don't go there. Why? Because buying a product, there are lots of different factors that you're talking about. But at the core of it, you're consuming an experience.
And I've got
So
a
in 1996, just two
Yeah,
minutes,
sure.
there was a guy called Joseph Pine who wrote a book, a very interesting book. Okay, I'm going to tell you the name of the book in a bit. And anybody heard of Alvin Toffler? Alvin Toffler. He wrote a book called Future Shock, Third Wave. Oh, you must read these guys, they're great guys. Joseph Pine wrote a book which said, the name of the book was Experience Economy. That we are moving away today from a world which was about products or services into a world which is about experiences. You are today living and paying for experiences and not for products.
and there was a series of movies that came out in Hollywood. I don't know how many of you remember. It was called Back to the Future.
yeah.
The things that they showed in the future that time exist today. How about skates?
But
So
you,
what at time was shown in the future, they exist today.
I mean, my generation relates not just to shift back to the future. The first one, Star Trek, if you look at it. Have you seen the earlier Star Treks?
It does exist. US Army is working on a hoverboard like that.
आ जाएगा यार चिंता क्यों करता है यार चिंता मत आ जाएगा कभी सोचा था ऐसा फोन होगा मैंने तो नहीं सोचा था यार हाँ जैसे स्टार ट्रेक में दिखाते थे The only thing that has not happened out of Star Trek is beam me up Scotty That has not happened, but I guess it will happen someday. Yeah, but please, I think you got to remember, coming back to what I was talking about, is you are living and you will service a market which is looking at what is my experience coming to your restaurant or your cafe. It is not going to be about the chola bhatura. It's not going to be one of these things in their own. What kind of service? Do your waiters speak English? It's going to be the entire experience.
Am I Instagramming you after coming to your restaurant?
How many of you use Uber?
What?
Uber, yeah? Do you know that today Uber gives you the complete driver's profile? How many trips has he done? 5,715. You want to go and look at what are the comments he's got? And the beauty of it, sir, the driver rates you as well. And I love speaking to Uber drivers just to see how the market. It's a beautiful model of how people are paying for an experience. And drivers tell me that, sir, रात के time में जिसका star कम होता है तो कई बार avoid कर देते हैं. Why not? And what a great democratization is happening in the market. And in your entrepreneurial journey and your life journey, you'll see even greater democratization. How many of you heard of a concept called 6 degrees of separation? 6 degrees of separation. No, illa sapad. Okay, it's very simple. It is based on a very simple premise which says that every person on planet Earth is connected with every other person on planet Earth by 6 degrees of separation. Yeah? So, you know someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows Barack Obama, Donald Trump, जान के नहीं बोल रहा मैं जानता ही नहीं. Or Nicole Kidman, or the man sitting in tribal Africa, or the man sitting in the Eskimo.
The simple example of this is Facebook, man. I look at so many people and like, how many mutual friends do you have?
Oh, Facebook, छोड़ो. I'll tell you, you guys, how many of you are on LinkedIn? Yeah, Facebook is more social. I'm talking if you were to look at it. Have you ever noticed it tells you these are my so many connections, and on the top right it says one step removed, it's usually a few tens of thousands, but 2 step removed, it's a few million. It is based on the principle of 6 degrees of separation. So in 2011, the company I was working with, Dasso at that point in time, we used to have a conclave of the top 100 leaders of the company. Once a year we meet, and we not talk about numbers. This is really not about business forecast or anything. We would look at what are the shifts happening. I'm talking about 6 years back. Okay. So there's a guy of ours who's a great guy called Philip Versteer. I remember he put this whole thing up. He gave us some crazy activities. Yeah, so he told us, so we were broken up, there's 100 of us, we were broken up into multiple teams. And the tasks were like, get the number 1 or number 2 in a government in a country to send a message to us. That's in India, it will mean either Amit Shah, Jetli or Rajnath, whatever. Any country, wherever. Get a Hollywood star to wear a t-shirt of our company and send us a message. Crazy stuff he told us, Hey, when we saw those activities, this is ridiculous. Sitting in one location, 48 hours, every single activity was done. 4.5 degrees of separation. Actually, the theory is now being revised to 5.2 degrees of separation. Right? And why that is important for you as entrepreneurs to realize is that every customer of yours is going to be connected with every other customer. Why Zomato, and I cite Zomato as an example, is if I come into a town and I want to figure out, where was I the other day? I was in Calcutta for a very short while. I had to go to Jamshedpur, and my wife was coming in. We just had time between a flight and a train we had to take. I said, where do I go to eat? And unfortunately, I forgot to call him. But I went and said, Park Street. So it said Peter Cat, 4.2 stars. Yeah, that's where I'm going to go. Why? It's because you were telling me you had a great experience at your cafe. Whether you had chola bhatura, the library was very nice, the coffee was very good. I can give you so many examples of how we consume experience like crazy. Anybody from Bombay? No. Yeah, Bombay. I mean, this is a very recent experience over the last few months. You go to so the Four Seasons in Bombay has a rooftop restaurant, rooftop bar, right? Yeah, and the interesting thing is you go. The guys are so well trained that I remember going there alone and sitting there. Now, usually I'm a very reticent guy. I'm lost in my own thoughts, or I'm doing something else. But once in a while, you feel like talking, right? So the bar was about 50% full. He served me my drink. And then he came and I could figure out later that he was trying to see whether I was open for a conversation or not. So he sensed that that day I was in a kind of chill out mood, not so caught up in my own thought process. 5 minutes later, he came back. He spent 30 minutes with me talking. It's just the experience. What is the experience you will create? Don't worry, it's not about your product. It's going to be about your experience. So I hope I answered that question of yours. Yeah. So please remember, this is very, very important for you. Your customer is going to be very different from what you think. Yeah. And if you want to play at the commoditized level, let me also not be so esoteric and say कि सब सारा experience economy हो गई है. हम product भी खरीदते हैं. But product is getting commoditized. Product में value नहीं है, पैसा नहीं बनेगा, मजा नहीं आएगा. If you want to get into commodity business, say okay, yeah, I'm going to buy 5 ships and I'm going to do commodity trading. That might be an interesting game, yeah. But okay, I'm going to do commodity trading. Yeah, not for me. If you want to do it, you might want to. This is very, very important to keep in mind. Market has shifted, customers have evolved, you as customers have evolved. And therefore, when you run your entrepreneurial journey, always keep looking at how is the customer evolving, and you don't need to look too far.
And is the customer speaking about you? Most important.
Oh, yeah.
Has he had an experience?
Oh, yeah. You remember in that video there was this thing, Varun, about e-reputation. That's the single biggest enemy of any business.
We've got people joining. Okay, so you guys joined late, right? Okay.
Alright.
So you guys have missed major of the session, but obviously your colleagues are going to help you fill you up on it. We're going to again do, so we're going to divide teams, so we're just going to do this small activity. What I'm going to ask you for, guys, is your name. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Everybody who's joined. Can I have a show of hands who've not yet gone through the introductions yet? The introduction part. Sorry.
For the rest of you, we want to reintroduce ourselves.
Exactly. Ask your colleagues.
Only my name is not written.
Okay, you've introduced. What's your name? Okay. And what's your passion word? Okay. Okay, guys. So for the guys at the back, I'm going to summarize this. You're going to give me your name and summarize your passion in one word for me. And throughout the team activity that we're going to do now of creating a business from scratch, I'm going to call you by that passion word. If you don't respond to me, that's a wrong passion name. Okay, guys. Start with you.
Hi, I'm Nitesh.
Louder.
Hi, I'm Nitesh. My passion word is vibrant.
Nitesh and vibrant.
Nitesh.
Okay. Sorry.
Nitesh, with an R.
Okay, got it, buddy. Okay. Next, sir.
Yeah, hi, I'm Vibhu and my passion word is enthusiastic.
Vibhu.
V-I-V.
Okay. Ma'am, next.
My name is Palak and my the word is deduction.
Detective, huh? Okay. And ma'am, last?
I'm Komal and my passion word is happiness. Like whatever makes you happy.
Perfect. Okay, so what? Okay, how many? Yeah.
And mine's also there.
Okay, okay.
Arshad.
Okay, Arshad.
Psychology.
Your passion word is?
Psychology.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is, now that we want to do the team task, how many of you guys have missed the greater part of the session? Can I have a show of hands? And I want you guys to walk to the side because I'm going to divide you in the end with colleagues who've been a part of the session because it's going to help. So if you could, guys could please come to one side who missed the greater part of the session so that I can equally divide you guys with colleagues who heard the session and it'll be easier for you to understand what we've covered. Okay, so you guys, the rest of the guys have overall seen half of the session, I believe. Alright. Okay, so that's this is the 4 of you from here. Ritesh, Vibhu, Palak, Komal. Arshad, you've been through the session, right? Okay. So that's the 4 of you till here. Alright. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, you leaving? Okay. Alright. Hope the session was interesting. Why don't you do that? Ajay is busy. Why don't you guys note my number and if any time you want a headway in your business, do give me a WhatsApp. Yeah.
I need to leave as well.
Yeah, sure. But I hope the session was interesting. You guys enjoyed it. Alright, best of luck, guys. Okay, so what are your names once again so that I can just cross them out for the team activities?
I'm Rohan.
Rohan and
Arushi.
Arushi. Alright. So we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, no worries. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Guys, anybody else, deciding to leave or deciding to go? I hope we're going to be a part. Okay, great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that's 20, and I'm going to keep you separately in 2 teams. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5. So 4 in each team. I'm going to call out 4 names, and the first 4, and it's all about on your passion. So I'm going to use your passion words. So the first 4 I call out there, the second 4 that I call out there, third 4 that I call out there, and the last 4 here, and 1 in each team. So I will leave you guys. Music. 1 corner piece. Choreography. Acting. Money. So that's team A. And you will be joined by Palak. Okay, so how many, can I have your names from that side? Okay, so you are done. Who else? Okay. Okay.
Surya, S-U-R-Y actually.
Where are you, buddy?
Yeah. S-U-R-Y.
Okay. And
Palak.
Perfect. Art. Dynamic. Technology. Success. Stability. Oh, sorry. There. Adventurous. Okay. How many? Okay, stability is where?